Everything begins and ends with aloha, which is love. There are some values that I think Hawaiians have that are not necessarily shared by Western cultures in particular. Family first, ohana. I think all of us would probably say that that's very important. I don't think any Hawaiians can define themselves without mentioning who their family is and where they're from. I'm the hiapo, which is the eldest grandchild of my cousins. There are 64 of us over there. So I kind of hold a position as being the oldest, which is in Hawaiian is called kaikuana, to look after the kaikaina, which is the younger one. So that relationship is something that nobody really can, I think, verbalize, but we understand it because we have to be it. It's just a place that you just, I guess for myself, where I naturally just rise up to.
When you teach your children and your family to be humble and to be gracious and to be caring about those around you, then you have everyone caring for the next person and the next person and the next person, and that spreads.
Haole families tend to go their own ways. They pride themselves on their independence and their rugged individualism, whatever you want to call it. And Hawaiians probably don't define themselves that way. We see ourselves as part of a whole. What's lasted has been our music and our dance, and that's known all over the world.
Hula is a place where you can learn about family, how to take care of each other, and it's so funny because it's not really about dancing or chanting or singing. You learn so much more that you take with you. I grew up with halau, and now I have 2 babies in halau, and everything that I learned from Uncle, I pass on to my kids, and so that's what it means to me, family, and as cheesy as it is, ohana.
Hula is the life, the breath, and the living of the Hawaiian culture. But it is the voices of our people becomes alive for that moment and that time. The Hawaiian culture is identified by the hula. It is not just a hula performance. It is not just a dance. It is everything to do with who we are.
We make our own costumes, we make our own lei, fresh lei, everything made fresh. If you're wearing plastic things and fake things, then your hula is not alive. You're not alive, because it's not okay. But if they were taught a certain way, then they don't know any better.
Hawaiian Ike knowledge is based in the language. Well, Hawaiians understand the world a little bit different from you when we hear our own language than when we hear your language. And so we have words and ideas that probably might be conflicting. What they see out there is sometimes stereotypes or wrong ideas about what Hawaiians are and who we are. We're some exotic thing that wears flowers all the time and everybody surfs and everybody does the hula. I was asked after a while, not after a while, a lot of times, how did you learn how to speak English so well? So I finally said one day, well, I think I learned it when I learned how to eat people. That's what I told them. Then people begin a conversation because they're curious. It's because they don't know who we are. It's very simple. You cannot come with a definition of culture and say it's set, because it isn't. It's something that evolves over time.
Hula is no longer only in Hawaii. Yeah, it is throughout the world. And for me, it is a good thing if done correctly, because that means that in generations to come, hula will still live.
The more our language is taught, the more the culture will spread. Aloha is not just hello and goodbye, but it's love, it's caring, it's humility, it's being gracious and humble and helpful.
In English language, they teach us that we need the feeling of the heart is what you feel when you love somebody or when you care about somebody. It's the feeling of the heart. Hawaiian culture is deeper than that. The feeling within your soul is aloha. Yeah. And when you feel that and you make the connection, then you know what aloha is all about. Yes, it is a culture, and I love this culture. It is who I am.
We're here, and we're here to stay. We're not going to go away. E maua ana ka aloha wai, long live the Hawaiian people.